afternoon, good evening, and wherever you're listening from. Hello, 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 and welcome to Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and we are here for yet another session of our collective reading of phenomenal books. Okay, last year we set a goal to read 20 books over the course of the year together, and I am happy to announce that 2 weeks early, 2 weeks before 2023 ended, we reached our goal, and it was amazing, amazing, amazing. So the last four books that we read last year were authored by the phenomenal Rhonda Byrne, and I thought that it would be great for us to begin this year with the same author. Hello, somebody. Okay, so we are reading through the book The Greatest Secret. The Greatest Secret. So you all know she is the author of the phenomenal book The Secret. Now, The Secret broke the web. It broke society and everything in the most amazing way in the early 2000s, you all. I mean, Oprah had the people on her show. It was such a big phenomenon, that everybody was trying to figure out what this secret was. What is the secret? The secret, the secret. And when I tell you, once you discovered the secret and read her book, it was absolutely beautifully unfolded. Um, from there, she wrote a second book, a part two, a sequel to that, which was called The Power. Okay. From there, she wrote The Magic, which is book three, and then the final book of the four-book series is Hero. So that concluded the four books, and those were the four books that we ended 2023 with. So we started this year with The Greatest Secret. Okay, so it's another um portion. It's not part of the series. It's a separate book in and of itself, but it's still amazing. And I thought it was a perfect book to begin this year with. Okay, so with that being said, last week, okay, we did not have a Tuesday session. We usually meet on Sundays and Tuesdays, but honestly, you all, to be perfectly honest, I was exhausted. I was drained this past Tuesday. If you all are unaware, I am a licensed therapist, okay? I am a doctor in cognitive behavioral therapy. Not only that, before that, I am a five-time certified life and purpose coach, spiritual coach, relationship and intimacy coach. I do a lot of things, and I have a lot of clients that are serviced on a regular basis. Not to mention, I'm still working on another degree that I'm working on in the evening online with Purdue University. I took an additional course. It was a 6-course program for women's entrepreneurship at the latter part of last year, given by Cornell. Did that, passed that with a 4.0. I'm excited about that. And listen, you all, I have a lot of things that I do in addition to being here on live with you all on Sundays and Tuesdays. I have a personal life, you know what I mean? Just my regular maintenance, and then tending to myself, which is my most prized investment, is tending to myself, making sure that my mind is clear, making sure that my heart is good, making sure that my body is okay, making sure that I'm getting enough rest and things like that. So sometimes, you all, you have to listen to your body. First of all, make a practice of talking to your body and seeing what your body needs, talking to your heart, seeing what your heart needs, your mind, all of those things. As I'm going to tell you, whether you listen to it or not, whether you ask it or not, your body is going to show you, tell you by some means, with a headache or stomach ache or whatever the case, something is going to there's always communication going on. But the problem is, we don't stop long enough to listen to what's being communicated within our own selves. We're too busy running around and being everything for everybody else, but nothing to ourselves. And when I tell you, this past Tuesday, I had the whole thing set up. I have the live set up, and you all know that I do not just go live on Facebook. I go live on Facebook, Clubhouse, YouTube, all at the same time. So right now, we are live on Clubhouse, Facebook, on a couple of pages, and YouTube at the same time. Okay, so we're reaching a vast audience. Okay, Not to mention, I am my own marketing team. I run a nonprofit. I'm a founder and I'm director of operations for a nonprofit organization. We have regular programs that we run on a regular basis, and I have to ensure that those things are underway. Not to mention, we're acquiring donations and sponsors. If you're speaking of, if you're looking to invest and you're looking to sponsor a program, an organization, a nonprofit, 501c3, definitely a tax write-off for you, then you reach out, inbox me so we can talk. Okay, there's great work that needs to be done in these communities, in our communities, in our people, and it takes funds to do that. Okay, and I know, hey, there are people out here with a lot of money to do things with, and so we're appealing to those individuals. So somebody has to get that work done, and that somebody is me. Okay, everything that I just named you all, I do it by myself. I do it by myself. I do it. I do have a board of directors. I do have people who I have elected to work with me with the nonprofit sector, but that's only with the nonprofit. Everything else is me. It's me for right now. For right now, I'm calling in that staff. Okay, I'm calling in those that staff so that I can delegate, set it and forget it. Hello, okay. So because it's a lot on me, but I'm willing and I'm able to get it done. Okay, because again, there's great work that needs to be done, and this is the vision that I have been given. And then this is the purpose and calling, that the reason why I'm here and breathing on this planet. These are one of the things that I'm here for. So with that being said, I'm going to do what I need to do. But when my body says stop, right? When my body says stop, when my body says pause, I kid you not, you all, I was 20 minutes out from beginning the live on Tuesday. And I sat in at my desk where I am right now, and I heard clear, no, no, not tonight. Nope, nope, nope. And I said, yes, self, I will honor you. And I shut it down. I shut it down. Let me tell you something. One thing about me, if you don't know me, you'll know it after right now. I honor me. I I honor me. I love me. I protect me fiercely and savagely. I do. Without hesitation. I do. 100%. I do. If I do not, no one will. Okay? If I do not honor me, if I do not protect me, if I do not make myself bring happiness to me, if I do not bring peace to myself, it will not happen, right? And so, because I am me, I am my main prize investment. And I need to honor me. And when me says stop, me has to stop. Okay. And that's exactly what I did. I urge you all, if you do not do it, if you have not done that for yourself, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Make a habit in 2024, starting in 2024. Honor self, okay? Honor self. Pay attention to what self is saying and honor self, okay? Alrighty, you all. So listen, we have already begun the reading of this book. We did chapter 1 last Sunday, and today we're going to be doing chapters 2 and 3. So because the chapters, some of them last week's chapters were not as long, so we were able to just go in, and we did the beginning, which was, I want to say, the preface, and then we were able to go right on into the first chapter, and I think we were done in about an hour. You know what I mean? So I think today's chapters are just a tinge longer, but not by much. Okay, so we're going to be doing chapters 2 and 3, which are the greatest secret revealed and the revealed continued. So it's good that we're doing both of these, because it's just a continuation of the previous one. Okay, but one thing about Rhonda Byrne's books that I love is that at the end of the previous chapter, or the end of the chapter that you read, there's always a summary of the nuggets that we were able to take away from that chapter. Okay, and so the nuggets from the chapter 1 were as follows. Number 1, whether we realize it or not, we've been in search of the greatest secret unceasingly every single day of our lives. Okay, the next, this great secret is in plain view for every one of us to see, yet we've missed it. The next, we've missed the truth for thousands of years because we are distracted by our problems, the drama in our lives, and the comings and goings of the events in the world. That is a fact, my goodness. The next one, we've accepted many false ideas and beliefs throughout our lives, and they have kept us enslaved. Correct. Okay. Next statement. Whenever we suffer, it's because we've mistaken our own identity. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. Before I continue, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm already feeling good. I'm already feeling this thing in all of my being, mainly in my heart space. Okay. I'm gonna tell you this today is going to be one of those days. I can see it now, my goodness. Okay, the next statement, humanity is suffering from a misunderstanding of our true nature. Very true. Next section, next statement. You are having the experience of being a person, but in the bigger picture, it's not who you are, right? Next statement. You're supposed to be happy all the time. Happiness is your true nature. Correct. So if you are sad, that's not your true nature. If you are mad, that's not your true nature. If you are lonely, depressed, anxious, that's not your true nature, right? Next statement, discovering who you really are has been given many names: enlightenment, self realization, self discovery, awakening, and remembering. Okay. We've heard those terms several times. I'm sure you have. Next statement, open yourself to the possibility that you can experience the truth of who you are at this very moment. You don't have to wait. You can learn it right now and be it right now. And the last statement, when you fully recognize who you are, you will experience a life without problems, upset, hurt, worry, or fear. And you will be filled with joy, positivity, fulfillment, abundance, and peace. I know you need some of all of that. Okay. I know you do. Yeah, I don't have to ask. You don't have to answer. You don't have to say anything. I know you do. Okay. At any point during the reading, whether you're listening by way of Clubhouse, Facebook, or YouTube, at any point, feel free to comment your thoughts, your feelings, whatever in the chat, in the comment sections, whatever. Okay. Communicate because I want to hear from you. If there's something that sticks out from you, from this reading for you, say so. Okay, because you saying so could be the very thing that somebody else needs to hear, or maybe a question that they may have to ask, or whatever the case, and you asking it and me answering it, or whatever the case, or us discussing it. That's what this is. We're not just reading, we're discussing. So if you have something that you want to say it, say it, say it. Your voice matters, especially around here. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Chapter 2, the greatest secret revealed. So close you can't see it. So subtle your mind can't understand it. So simple you can't believe it. So good you can't accept it. That is a statement by Locke Kelly. Why is it so few have discovered the truth? Why haven't the majority of us realized who we are? How can billions of people have missed something so vitally important to our happiness? We've missed discovering the greatest secret because of one small obstacle: a belief. Just a single belief has prevented us from making the greatest discovery we could make. That belief is that we are our body and our mind. Next section, you are not your body. We came into this world to be a body in order to learn that we are not a body. Statement by Lester Levinson. Just as you use a car to get from one location to another, your body is a vehicle you use to move around and to experience the world. Lester Levinson then says, if you have a car, you do not say you are a car. Why then, if you have a body, do you say you are the body? Being material, your body isn't conscious. It doesn't know it's a body, but you know it's a body. Your toe doesn't know it's a toe. Your wrist doesn't know it's a wrist. Your head doesn't know it's a head. And your brain has no idea it's a brain. But you know each and every part of your body. How could you be the body when you know all the different parts and yet not one of them knows you? It's probing questions like these that enabled the great beings of the past to unravel the mystery behind who we really are. Lester Levinson goes on to say the worst habit we have gotten into over the millenniums is that we believe we are this body. Hmm. Francis Lucille states, we have forgotten what we are, and we have identified ourselves with objects. I am this body, therefore I am going to die. Mm. Lester Levinson stated, you fear that if the body isn't, you are not. Ooh. Lester Levinson then says, if you want immortality, stop holding on to the body. Ooh, 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 ooh. If you want immortality, stop holding on to the body. Believing you're just your body creates the biggest fear of humanity, the fear of death. When your body dies, you fear you will no longer exist. It's like a dark cloud hanging over your life. It's good news that you're not your body because your body is going to come to an end one day, as all material things do. The world is completely made up of material things, and not one of those things will last, including your body, which appears and disappears through the process of birth and death. What you actually are never dies. Muji states, what you truly are cannot die. The body will die, but the body is not what you are. Mr. Levinson then says, we have free will to identify with body or identify with who we really are. Body equals pain, and what you are equals infinite joy. Come on, infinite joy, not just joy, infinite joy. Your way out of all difficulties begins with letting go of the belief that you are your body. Mm. Next section, you are not your mind. The voice in your head is not you, yet you've probably believed it is you for most of your life. While the voice in your head sounds like you, seems to know a lot about you, and has become very familiar to you, it's definitely not you. That voice in your head is your mind, and you are not your mind. Peter Lowry states, the mind is a collection of thoughts that constantly appear and disappear. Lester Levinson stated, if there are no thoughts, then there is no mind. Mind is only thought. Check for yourself. Where's your mind if there are no thoughts? Your mind isn't there. Rupert Spira states, there's nothing inside but thoughts and feelings, memories and sensations. But are you a thought? Are you a feeling? If you were a thought, let's say a frustrated thought, then you would disappear when the frustrated thought disappeared. You are not a thought, a sensation, or a feeling, because when they end, you would end too. But you're still here after they end. You are here before a thought. You are here before a feeling or a sensation, and you remain perfectly intact after they've gone. It's fairly obvious when you look at it. Certainly, we do experience thoughts, feelings, and sensations, but we are none of those things. In some ways, it's easy to understand how we've missed seeing who we really are because the body and mind are a very convincing combination. Our mind keeps up a constant tirade of thoughts, most of which include the word I, as though the mind is us. And you may be surprised to learn that all our bodily sensations come from the mind too, which reinforces our belief that we are our body. Jan Fraser states, how others see you contributes to your sense of self. When things happen, they seem to happen to you, or you may bring them about. You care what happens because of its effect on you. You hold yourself with a wish to keep yourself safe and in a good light. You certainly do seem real. It's not that you don't have a body and a mind, it's just that they are not the real you, just like your car. They're simply finely tuned instruments you're using to experience the material world. Muji stated, identifying with the body and mind is the only thing that is covering up who you truly are. It's this misidentification that is veiling your true self. Mm. Next section, are you really the person you think you are? Ooh, y'all. Jan Fraser states, considering all of the effort given to bolstering the ego, the emphasis on self esteem, reputation, achievement, physical appearance, material acquisition, it's a miracle awakening ever happens at all. Yep. The ego, the imagined self, the pretend self, the separate self, and the psychological self are a few of the names that teachers and sages have given for our mistaken identity. All of these descriptions refer to a body and a mind that together make up what we call a person. When we refer to ourselves, most of us are referring to this person that we think we are. Muji states, a person is what you experience. It is not what you are. Mm. Deepak Chopra stated, there's no such thing as a person. If you say I'm a person, then you have to say which one. There was a baby once upon a time. There was a teenager. There was a toddler. And then this whole process will be over soon. I know that's right. Your personality is constantly changing. So if your personality is you, which person are you? Are you the angry person, the loving person, the frustrated person, the irritated person, or the kind person? You probably think you're all of them, but you can't be all of them because if you were, the angry person would never disappear. It would always be here. Or if the frustrated person were really you, when the frustrated person disappeared, a bit of you would disappear with it. But that doesn't happen, does it? You're here before the angry person appears, and you're here after the angry person disappears. You're here before the frustrated person appears, and you're here after they disappear. Clearly, you are not your changing moods or personality. Zach O'Keefe states, personality is a useful tool, but it cannot define who you are. Who you are lies far beyond who you think you are. Rupert Spira stated, the biggest obstacle to discovering the truth of who we essentially are is the belief that I am a cluster of thoughts, memories, feelings, and sensations. Together, these form an illusory self or entitlement or entity. The belief that I am this entity is the only obstacle. The belief that I am this entity is the only obstacle. All our psychological problems are due to this imaginary self. It always comes down to mistaking ourselves for this. Muji stated, the person only seems to exist because of the persistent and unquestioned belief that there is an actual person here. But the person or ego can't exist without the belief in it. The person or ego can't exist without the belief in it. It's only imagination. In truth, there's no person at all. The only resident of this house of the body is the pure self, which is what you are. The rest is all made up. There are not two tenants in this body. There's only ever been one. Belief in ego gives a sense of reality, but this is not a fact, only a fiction. What's the problem with believing we're an ego or a person? We feel small and extremely vulnerable. We're afraid of bad things happening to us. We're afraid of illness, getting old, and dying. We're afraid of losing the things we have and not getting the things we want. We live in a state of lack, believing there's not enough money, not enough time, not enough energy, not enough love, health, or happiness, and not enough life. And even worse, we believe we're not enough. None of this is true. In fact, it is the very opposite of the truth. But we can never have true lasting happiness while we hold on to the belief that we're only a person. Rupert Spira stated, the tragedy and comedy of the human condition is that we spend most of our lives thinking, feeling, acting, perceiving, and relating on behalf of an illusory self. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, man, I'm telling you the truth. Yes, we do. Jan Fraser stated, the ego isn't who you are, but it makes so much racket you can't hear who you really are. If you keep it going, if you feed and water the ego, it's madness. Mm. Muji states, I think everyone is suffering from person poison, living life too personally, perceiving life too personally, taking things too personally. When you're responding to life in a personal mode, it is a form of blindness. You don't see things in their correct light. Mm. You are most certainly experiencing a body, experiencing a mind, and having the experience of being a person. But these are actually the least parts of you. And ultimately, they are not you. Because when they end, you do not end. Shakti Katerina Maggie stated, there is no people in people. There is no people in people, but there is a real you. Dan Fraser states, why is it so hard to see through the ego, to let it go, to stop believing in the solidarity of the little guy? Why do we hold on to this apparently real self when beneath and around and above and swimming all through it is this gorgeous other reality that really is real, that can be counted on for sustenance, for perfect peacefulness? Why deny ourselves this for the sake of something so paltry by comparison, for a thing that causes so much trouble, even pain? Hmm. Next section, big pretenders, big pretenders. Your thoughts, feelings, sensations, and beliefs seamlessly work together to convince you you're a person. We're all big pretenders. We're pretending we're very small. We're pretending we're very limited. We're pretending we're small. We're a small, limited person who is born, lives for time, dies, and that's the end of us. But nothing could be further from the truth. Shakti Katerina Maggie stated, we are self obsessed with an imaginary character that doesn't exist. Come on here. Ooh, right there. We are self obsessed with an imaginary character that doesn't exist. We could say that this imaginary character is exactly like a movie character. We know the actor playing the character exists, but does the movie character know that the actor exists? No, the movie character is imaginary. Mm. We cement our belief that we're a person with every thought. If you check on any thought, you'll find that there's a me at the center of every one of them. Those thoughts centered around the me you believe yourself to be affirm over and over again that you're a little limited person. When you believe the voice in your head is who you automatically believe everything it says. You believe all the thoughts that your mind generates. Thoughts like, I'm getting old, I'm too tired, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I don't have enough time, I'm not as healthy as I used to be, I don't have enough money, I'm not smart enough, my eyesight is not as good as it used to be, I don't feel loved, he or she doesn't approve of me, I don't deserve it, I'm scared of dying, I don't know what to do. These thoughts are all limitations imposed on you by your mind. Who you really are is unlimited, which means absolutely nothing has power over you. Whew. My teacher says that we're practicing being small through constant limited thoughts, like the ones I just listed. And if you were not practicing being small, being a small, limited person, we will see the truth of who we really are. Everything about a person is the very opposite of who you really are. The person is imperfect. The real you is perfect. The person is temporary and limited. The real you is permanent and unlimited. The person is born and dies. The real you is never born and never dies. The person is personal and unstable. The real you is impersonal and always stable. The person has changing moods. The real you is constant happiness and peace. The person is full of judgments and opinions. The real you is is allowing and accepting of everything. The person gets sick and becomes old. The real you is not subject to aging, and sickness can never touch you. The person suffers. The real you is free of all pain and suffering. The person dies. The real you exists for all eternity. Mm. Whew. Man, oh man, oh man. Next section, trading unhappiness for truth. Trading unhappiness for truth. Mm. There's only one way to have a blissful life with lasting happiness, and that is to know your true nature. There's only one way out of life plagued with problems, negativity, and discord, and that is to know the truth of who you really are. Lester Levinson stated, "The real you is infinitely grand and glorious, whole, perfect, and in total peace. And you are blinding yourself to this by assuming that you are a limited ego. Drop the blinder, the ego, and be forever in perfect peace and joy. When you have found yourself, you will have everything." Moody states, "Life is not about solving lots of little problems because they will never end. Life points us to the one essential thing that has been overlooked, our own true and unchanging self. Mankind as a whole is living largely in the mistaken idea that we are fundamentally a person with a body as opposed to our true self." Francis Lucille states, "There may be tragedy in the story of our lives, but in truth, there is no tragedy happening to us. Ultimately, the story is only there to teach us this distinction. The moment we take the lesson, even the story changes to reveal itself as beauty, love, and intelligence. Do not be attached to the concept that misery is unavoidable. As long as we are attached to this concept, there will be misery." David Bingham stated, "In the biblical parable, the man who is identified with the body mind is the man who built his house on sand. To realize one's true nature is to build one's house on the rock. There's no search to find the truth because it is what you already are. How could you search for yourself? It's only that the majority of us have been constantly looking away from our true selves rather than looking at who we are. Have you ever looked at one of those pictures where there are two images in one picture? When you first look at the picture, you can see one image clearly. But at first, you can't see the second image. You try, but the second image seems to elude you due to your focus on the first image. You have to change your perspective and soften your gaze ever so slightly to see the other image come into view. In Rubens' famous picture, at first, either you can see two people looking at each other or you see a vase. To see both images clearly, you have to shift the way you're looking at the picture. For most of our lives, we've been looking at ourselves from the perspective that we are a body and mind, that we are a person. But to see clearly who we are, just as for Rubens' painting, we have to shift our perspective ever so slightly. Next section, the reveal. Let me ask you one simple question. Are you aware? Your answer must be yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be aware of the question I just asked you. Let me ask you again. Are you aware? Yes, you're aware. You were aware as a baby, through your childhood, your teenage years, and throughout adulthood. You've been aware your entire life. Awareness is and has been the only constant in your life. Your body keeps changing. Your mind keeps changing. Thoughts, feelings, and sensations all keep changing. But the one thing that has never changed is your awareness of it all. And the awareness is who you really are. You are awareness. You are it. It's so close you cannot see it. You look through its eyes at the world around you, says Jan Fraser. David Bingham stated, when we say I, we've been conditioned to believe that we're referring to the body, when really I is referring to awareness. Muji stated, you are not a body, a mind, or a bundle of thoughts, feelings, memories, or sensations. You are a one who is aware of your body, your mind, your thoughts, feelings, memories, and sensations. You are awareness itself. The moment you meet awareness, something in you recognizes it. That's for sure. That is so true. You're aware of reading this book. You're aware of the sounds around you. You're aware of the room you're in. You're aware of your name. You're aware of your body and the clothes on your body. Your breathing and bodily sensations. You're aware of the roof of your mouth, the soles of your feet and your fingers. You're aware of your mind, the thoughts in your head, and your feelings and moods. In fact, you couldn't know or experience any of life at all without awareness. Next section. You are the awareness that is aware of everything. Awareness is what is aware of every single life experience you have. It's not the mind or the body that is aware of your life. You, the awareness that you are aware of the mind, thoughts, and the body, and anything you are aware of cannot be you. The teacher, sailor Bob Adamson points out that we know we exist. Of that, we have no doubt. Well, the only way we know that we exist is our awareness that we exist. We make the mistake of believing our awareness that we exist comes from the mind or the body, but that is not true. Our awareness that we exist is what we truly are, not the mind or the body. Just for a moment, imagine you have no body or mind. Take away your body, take away your mind, take away your name, take away your life story, which is your entire past. Take away all memory, beliefs, and all thought, and notice what is left. What is left is simply awareness. If someone were to draw our attention to the white paper on which these words are written, we would suddenly become aware of it. In fact, we were always aware of the paper, but we didn't realize it due to the exclusive focus of our attention on the words. Awareness is like the white paper, says Rupert Spira. That is so true. Just like the white paper, awareness is always present in the background of our life. We usually give our exclusive attention to our body and thoughts and our body and sensations because they're very attention grabbing. But we could not experience the mind and its thoughts or the body and its sensations without awareness to be aware of them. Just as we could not see any words if it were not for the background of the paper the words were printed on. Haley Dwoskin stated, give your attention to this background, even a little, and you will discover a whole new world. Rupert Spira stated, awareness is the most obvious element of experience and yet the most overlooked. David Bingham stated, the subtle thing that is overlooked is that everything is known directly by awareness, but it's assumed that everything is coming in through your mind. For instance, the common thing would be to say, I think. But actually, if it's looked at carefully, it's noticed that there is an awareness of thinking. So the thinking isn't who you are. There's something that is aware of thinking. The one that the one that is looking out through your eyes is awareness. The one that is hearing through your ears is awareness. Without awareness, you wouldn't be aware of anything you see, hear, taste, smell, or touch. And you would have no experience of the information coming in through your senses. Your senses aren't aware. It's awareness that's aware of all of your senses. I get that. I get that 100%. Francis Lucille stated, the apparatus with which we see is by itself inert, unable to see. Okay, so the apparatus with which we see is by itself unable to see. Wow, the telescope is useless without an astronomer behind it. It doesn't see anything by itself. Likewise, the apparatus of mind doesn't see anything by itself. Francis Lucille stated that. That is so true, man. David Bingham stated, you are the awareness that is aware of everything. Michael James states, this individual consciousness, our feeling, I am a person, a separate individual, a mind or soul confined within the limits of a body, is merely an imagination, a false and distorted form of our pure consciousness. I am. But it is nevertheless the root cause of all desire and all misery. Kalyana Lowry stated, the me that we imagine we are is just another thought. Lester Levinson states, our real nature, the infinite real self that we are, is simply us minus the mind. Mm. Our mind distorts the world we see by layering veils of thought and belief, one over the top of each other. Each mental veil distorts the world further and prevents us from seeing everything the way it really is. So true, man. Lester Levinson stated, the mind will never discover who you are because the mind is the cover up of who you are. It's only by letting go of the mind that you will discover who you are. That is so true. Someone stated, Sensei 9. Yep. Sensei 9 stated this. And Apostle Clapp, I will be actually on his platform on February 29th. But Sensei 9 stated, and I said I was going to elaborate on this too on a post. Apostle Clapp interviewed Sensei 9, I want to say about 2 to 3 weeks back, right? Sensei stated, you have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. You have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. Man, oh man, oh man. Hello, Malachi. Awareness exposes secrets and hidden energies. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? But Sensei stated, you have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. Okay? That right there says everything. Okay? Lester Levinson, let me go back to the book. Lester Levinson said, our real nature, the infinite real self that we are, is simply at us minus the mind. Okay? Us minus the mind. Man, oh man, oh man. Our mind distorts the world we see by layering veils of thought and belief, one over the top of the other. Each mental veil distorts the world further and prevents us from seeing everything the way it really is. The mind will never discover who you are because the mind is the cover up of who you are. It's only by letting go of the mind that you will discover who you are. You have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. Trying to see the truth with your mind is like trying to see something with a blindfold on. You need to drop the blindfold to see, just as you need to drop the mind to see who you really are. My God, y'all. Ooh, I hope y'all are getting this because I'm over here about to lose my everything, okay? Man, Muji stated, attempting to understand consciousness with your mind is like trying to illuminate the sun with a candle. Come on here. Oh, oh my God. Oh, wait, I have to say that again. Attempting to understand consciousness with your mind is like trying to illuminate the sun with a candle. Come on here. Without even realizing it, most of us are constantly focused on the noise of thoughts coming from our mind. Awareness is always present, but when there's a break from the noise of thoughts, it's much easier to notice it. When thoughts stop, we become consciously aware of awareness, which has been existing silently in the background all along. Next section, the mind's cover up. The mind's cover up. We're so used to knowing ourselves through our troubles, our dramas, and our obsessions that awake awareness, which is our true nature and our basic goodness, is hard to accept as our true identity. Locke Kelly stated. Awake awareness is the name that Locke Kelly uses for awareness. And it is just one of the many different names used by teachers, past and present, to describe what you are. Awareness, awake awareness, consciousness, cosmic consciousness, being, Buddha nature, Christ consciousness, God consciousness, spirit, the self, infinite being, infinite intelligence, unlimited being, true nature, true self, presence of God, presence awareness, pure consciousness, pure awareness, and many others. All these words are describing exactly the same thing, the awareness that you are. Kelly stated, we're so smart and our lives are so complex that it's hard to believe that simply discovering awake awareness could be the solution to our suffering. Come on. It's also hard to believe that the most important discovery is already here within us. We don't have to go on any odyssey to find it, earn it, or develop it. Mm. Peter Lowry stated, the great joke is the simplicity of it all. That's the great joke. Lauryn Hill said in one of her songs, one of the, first of all, the best single album one artist, phenomenal artist ever released. She only released one album. She did it unplugged, but she only released one album. Okay, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. She did a song, and the first line. Okay, I didn't even realize this until somebody, a good friend of mine, pointed this out. The first line, it could all be so simple, but we'd rather make it hard. It could all be so simple, but we'd rather make it hard. Let's go back to Peter Lowry's statement here. He said, the great joke is the simplicity of it all. That's the joke. We've lived this life and oh, woe is me, and oh, heavy laden burden, lay my burdens down, and please don't pass me by, and oh Lord, and ooh, woo, 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 woo. When it doesn't have to be all of that. What are we even doing? Jeez, let me keep reading because I'm over here like, what? Okay. Next, I'm sorry. I'm discombobulated right now. My mind is thoroughly and immensely blown right now. Okay. Jeez Louise. It's a great joke because what we truly are, what is closer to us than our very breath, has eluded the majority of humans for thousands of years. We've missed the simplest, most wonderful discovery because our thoughts have a hypnotic effect on us that keeps us in our head, oblivious to awareness. We usually give our attention exclusively to the thoughts in our mind and to everything we perceive through our senses. And with our attention diverted, we miss what is always present: awareness. Francis Lucille states, there is nothing wrong with the body or the mind. The only problem is that we identify our witnessing present consciousness with them. As long as we identify with witnessing presence with the body and the mind, there is no room for this presence to reveal itself in all its glory. Pamela Wilson states, for a moment, take off the persona. It's just an item of clothing, threadbare, stained with years of wear and tear. Take off the persona. Take it off. Take off the titles. Take off the colors, the race, the age. Take it off. Take it off. Take off your wealth. Take off your riches. Take off your titles, your this, your that. Take it off. Take it off. Golly, man. It's all illusory. It's all make believe, y'all. Seriously. Okay. Rupert Spira stated, to believe that our self, luminous, open, empty awareness, shares the limits and the destiny of the mind and body is like believing that the screen shares the limits and destiny of a character in a movie. David Bingham stated, people think they are a human being, but they're the infinite being. They've mistaken their identity, but who they really are has never left them and is always present. That's why we struggle, you all, in so many different areas. We struggle in these areas because we really do believe that we are having these problems. What? We really do believe we are suffering from not enough and lack or relationship issues and and death and poverty and our jobs and childhood or marriage or and parenthood we really do believe that we are these things. We oh my goodness, man. I am charged up, y'all. This is crazy. Okay. Your mind appears only when you have a thought, and it disappears after the thought has ended. But awareness never appears and disappears. Awareness is always present, even when you're asleep. It feels like awareness disappears when you go to sleep and appears again when you wake. And yet, when you've had a great night's sleep because you say something like, I slept really well. I slept like a baby. How do you know that you slept like a baby? You know it because awareness was aware and present the entire time you were sleeping. Come on. That's how you know. The entire time you were sleeping. When you ask yourself the question, am I aware? Immediately awareness is noticed. It didn't appear. It was always present. You simply took your attention from the thinking and put it on awareness. And so you became consciously aware. Instead of just aware, you became consciously aware. Everything other than awareness eventually ends or dies. Without exception, all material earthly things come and go, appear and disappear. Every single thing on earth, bodies, cities, countries, oceans, appears and eventually disappears. Take a moment to think about it, and you'll see that nothing remains. It's all temporary. Even planet Earth itself, the sun, the solar system, even universes, nothing is here forever except for one thing: awareness. You, awareness, are here forever. Our bodies age. Yet, when people get older, they'll say they don't feel they've aged and that they feel the same as they always have. They'll admit that their body feels older, but the one thing they feel themselves to be deep down, it doesn't feel what wait. But the one thing they feel themselves to be deep down doesn't feel like it has aged at all. Without realizing it, they are sensing the timeless awareness that they really are. Deepak Chopra stated, when you remember your past, your childhood, who is it that remembers? I remember. I is that which knows the experience, remembers the experience. The I that we call ourselves at 5 years old, 15 years old, 30 years old, and 60 years old is the ageless awareness that has witnessed our entire life. 5 years old. 5 years old states, I am going to school soon. 15 years old says, I can't wait to graduate. 30 years old says, I just got engaged. 60 years old says, I am not ready for retirement. Self realization is to see that the changing appearances on the surface of life are arising within the permanent, ever stable awareness that one truly is and has only ever been. David Bingham stated this. Jan Fraser stated, this is not a fairy tale. This possible thing is as real as a tree, as real as politics, as the roots that hold the tree to the ground, as real as the newspaper and its stories. It is as real as the Red Sox, as the price of gas, as a fight with your in laws, and as real as tuition bill. The truth is, it is more real than these things. And yet it is hardly seen, hardly felt, let alone directly known. Mm, 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 mm. Lester Levinson stated, there is not one of us who is not in direct touch with, in possession of, an infinite beingness that's all perfect, all present, all joyous, and eternal. There is not one of us who is not in direct contact with the right now. But due to wrong learning, by assuming over the ages concepts of limitation and by looking outwardly, we have beclouded the view. We have covered over this infinite being that we are with concepts of I am this physical body, or I am this mind, or with this physical body and mind, I have heaps and heaps of problems and troubles. Mm. Michael James states, this is the same state that most religions refer to as liberation or salvation, because only in this state of true self knowledge are we free or saved from the bondage of mistaking ourselves to be a separate individual, a consciousness that is confined within the limits of a physical body. Hmm. Consciousness or awareness is also known by some religions as the presence of God. When a person has a divine experience, an experience where they feel they were touched by God, the individual mind and ego drop. Even then, which then reveals awareness or the presence of God. There is a feeling of pure love, infinite peace, beauty, happiness, and bliss, which cannot be mistaken for anything but divinity. Even being stated, in reality, we are the infinite being rather than the human being. Yes, we are the infinite being having a human experience. That is so right. In many ways, the truth of life and of ourselves is actually the complete opposite to what we have been taught. Instead of looking outward to the world for happiness, for fulfillment, for answers and truth, we need to turn and look inward, because it's only in that direction that we will find everything we're looking for. Our breathtaking world and everything in it is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest. But the happiness, joy, love, peace, intelligence, and freedom that are awareness, your very nature, can only be found within you. See, the thing is with that, when we hear that right there, instantly I went to childhood, right? And obviously, it would have been absolutely amazing to have gotten this understanding as a child, as a baby, as a toddler, as, you know, a 5 year old, as a 15-year old. It would have been so amazing, because a lot of the things that we absolutely experienced and went through, and all of those things, right? We really didn't have. I mean, even if we were to go through them, right, we would know that they were isolated events. They would not have had such a huge impact on our personalities, our self esteem, our self image, how we oh God, our choices and our behaviors, and it would not have had such a hold. But if I didn't get it from a child, then that means that my parents didn't get it either, and their parents didn't get it either. So here's the thing. Said that to say, at what point will we get it? And then when will we start passing it to the children? First, we got to get it for ourselves, because my God, and at it doesn't matter what age. I don't care if you are 82 right now. Get it. Okay? Get it. Understand it, understand it for yourself. So that for the duration of, because your awareness is you are immortal, but for the rest of your experience in this life, right? In this physical life, you can experience it. You can end it on a high note, okay? Because you realize that this thing is illusory. This thing, when you slightly change your perspective, I am in this experience. I'm not this experience, right? That changes the game. It changes the game. You no longer are a victim, or a victim of circumstance, or a product of your environment, or whatever, all of the other stuff that we say. Okay? You're not that. All right? So that was the end of chapter 2, right? Here are some takeaways. And then I'm going to go on to chapter 3, which is the The secret, no, the reveal continued, right? Okay, these are some takeaways. A single belief has prevented us from making the greatest discovery, the belief that we are our body and our mind. Next, you are not your body. Your body is a vehicle you use to experience the world. Your body isn't conscious. The next, believing you're your body creates the biggest fear of humanity, the fear of death. Mm. The next, what you actually are never dies. The next, you are not your mind. Mind is only thoughts. If there are no thoughts, then there's no mind. Next, you are not a thought, a sensation, or a feeling, because if you were, when they end, you would end too. The next, your body and mind together make up what we call a person, the imagined self. The next, a person is what you experience, it is not what you are. Mm. The next, we can never have true lasting happiness while we hold on to the belief that we're a person. The next, you are experiencing a body, experiencing a mind, and having the experience of being a person, but they are not you. Mm. We're pretending we're a small, limited person through constant thoughts of limitation. I'll say that again. We're pretending we're a small, limited person through constant thoughts of limitation. Listen, one of the questions that I, as a therapist, I always ask new clients, who are you? Do you know who you are? Because man, oh man, if you knew who you were, I mean, if you knew who you truly were, all of these things that we call problems, I promise you, would not be a problem at all. It would be an opportunity to present your awareness. It will be an opportunity to be your full self in this physical being. Okay? It would be an opportunity to bring all of you who you truly are to the forefront and say, you know what? Ooh, okay. Here's a challenge. Okay. We got us a challenge, people. Let's do it. Let me show my divinity real quick. Huh. Oh, you say I have to pay this by this date, and it's looking like the physical amount of money that I have may not be. Oh, okay, no worries, no worries, no worries, because I'm not tied to what I'm looking at here. This is illusionary. This is not okay. This is not. Yeah. I'm not. Okay, cool. Hey, Marlene. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Here's an opportunity. Boom. Let me show you what I'm working with. Let me show you who I am. Let me show you what I can really do. Let me show you what I'm really about. Come on here. Stress, worry, depressed, where? Jealous of who, what, why? Why? Okay. Worried because, or angry because somebody told you no for what? Okay. Because the answer been yes before you even ask the question if it's a no or yes. It's been yes. Your answer has always been yes because you are who you are. You are what you are. When you realize that you're experiencing this human life, not attached to this human life, not connected to this human life, you are simply experiencing this life, then you realize that the rules of this life don't apply to you. Okay? They don't apply to you at all. Ooh, am I by myself? Because I'm being charged up here, y'all. I listen. I can roll on my own if I need to. It is what it is. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next point. Who you really are is unlimited. Listen, y'all. Listen, Linda. Listen. Who you really are is unlimited, which means absolutely nothing has power over you. Do you hear this? Who you really are is unlimited, which means absolutely, positively nothing has power over you. You've been aware your entire life. Awareness is and has been the only constant in your life. That awareness is who you really are. You are awareness. You couldn't know or experience any of life without your awareness. Next point, it's not the mind or the body that is aware of your life. Awareness is what is aware of every single life experience you have. Next, imagine you have no body or mind, name, life story, past, memory, beliefs, or thoughts. What is left is awareness. Next point, we usually give our attention exclusively to thoughts and to everything we perceive, so we miss what is always present, awareness. Mm, 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 mm. Next point, awareness is present even when you're asleep. Understand this, your spirit, your awareness, who you truly are, it doesn't need sleep. It doesn't need food. It doesn't need water. It doesn't need sex. It doesn't need friends. It doesn't need companionship. It doesn't need a mama, a daddy, a sister, brother. It doesn't need a job. It doesn't need a 401k. It don't need exercise. It doesn't need a pet, a comfort animal. It don't need none of that. None of that. Your body needs that. Your physical person needs that. The illusory, the imaginary person needs all of that. You ever heard the term, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak? That's because your flesh is your imaginary self. Your spirit is who you truly are. Your spirit needs none of that, because where your spirit actually derives from, 4, 5, 6 dimension, other realms, other worlds, it don't need all of that at all. That's why when you're sleeping, you're still able to dream and all of those things. You can still be aware. That's why when you're sleeping, those of us who sleep lightly, you can still hear. Your ears are still in tune to what's happening around the house. Awareness never leaves. Your spirit is always, 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 always aware. Always. I'm telling you, when this is you, this is who you truly are, right? And the reason that you have these dreams and things like that is because while your body is getting the restoration and the reboot and the resetting that it needs, your spirit is still gallivanting off into the other realms. That's why you have the dreams, because your spirit is uploading all of these experiences. Your spirit is experiencing. And because it's connected to your body, you're it's like when you're sleeping, your spirit goes on a field trip. Other realms, that's why you have the dreams. That's where the dreams come from. That's why you have the deja vu experiences, because it's been somewhere before. Hello, come on, y'all. I need you to understand this thing is more than just this physical body. I need you to get off the planet Earth, please and thank you. Get off of the planet Earth, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Okay? It's so limiting. It's so limiting. Right? Next point. When you ask yourself the question, am I aware? Immediately, awareness is noticed. It didn't appear, it was always present. Next point. Everything other than awareness eventually ends or dies. The I that we call ourselves at every age is the ageless I of awareness, which is witnessed our entire life. Next and last, instead of looking outward to the world for happiness, we need to turn and look inward. It's only in that direction that we will find everything we're looking for. All right, y'all, here we go. Chapter 3. We got our this is the reveal continued. Okay, here we go. You are awareness. You're not a person being aware of something. You are infinite awareness itself. As Francis Lucille said, a telescope is just an instrument without the astronomer looking through it. Your body and mind are instruments too. And so what's looking through your eyes? You, awareness. What's hearing sounds? You, awareness. Your body is alive because awareness. Awareness is actually the life force that animates your body. Rupert Spira stated, the fundamental mistake is to believe a human being is experiencing awareness. This is not correct. Only awareness is aware, and therefore only awareness can experience awareness. When I ask you, are you aware? You will pause to check your experience, and you will answer yes. That yes is an affirmation of awareness's awareness of itself. It is not a body or a brain that experiences being aware. The body and the brain are experienced. They don't experience, okay? The body and the brain are experienced. They are being experienced. They don't experience, okay? Next section. There is only one. Our name is I. Rupert Spira stated, only awareness is aware. Human beings aren't aware. Dogs and cats aren't aware. Animals aren't aware. Only awareness is aware. There's only one awareness, just as there is only one space in the universe. That awareness is refracted in each of our minds, and as a result, each of our minds seem to have refracted in each of our as each of our minds seems to have its own package of awareness, just as every building seems to contain its own space. But the awareness with which each of our minds is aware of its experience is the only awareness there is. Infinite awareness, just as the space in all the buildings is the same space. Okay? This infinite awareness, this one and only awareness, is you and every other person. There's only one awareness, and it's the same awareness that is operating through everybody. This is why we're interconnected, you all. This is why we are one. We're all individuals, right? We're all, it seemed like we're all different people, right? But awareness is simply one awareness. This is why I state, I am you, you are me. Everything living, everything created by the creator is all one. Everything is interconnected. Everything is the same thing. Everything is one thing. Okay? That's why all of this, the race battles and the different the political parties and all of this division, it makes it seem like we're separate. But the gag is we are all one person. We're all one thing. We are all one. We are all one. Each one of us are the same entity experiencing different views, different. Okay, say for instance, one of the people that commented here is one of my clients. Okay, he is located in Austin, Texas. I am located in Columbus, Georgia. He and I are one. He and I are one. You notice I always say we are only holding each other's hand, walking each other back home. That's all we're doing. He has lived his experience. I've lived my experience. But we are of the same awareness. We're the same person living two different experiences. This is why jealousy makes no sense to me. I never understood it. This envy, all of this competition, it makes no sense to me. Why? Because, prime example, one of my younger brothers, he's right under me. Okay, he will be 41 this month, actually, end of this month. And he and his wife, years ago, they bought a lot and then they built a house. No one else in my family has had a house built. Okay, we've had houses. I have a house. My youngest brother have a house. My younger sister has a house. My mom and dad, they have a house. My aunts and uncles, they all have. Everybody has houses, but he's the only one that experienced having a house built from ground up. Like he and his family were the very first ones to live in this structure. Okay. When his house was being built, there's no way that I was not going to take part in that experience and be excited for that experience. I was excited for that experience as if I was the key holder. Okay. You know why? Because my brother's house and his experience of his house is my experience. I don't have to experience it myself personally in order to have the experience of it. I have the experience by living vicariously through his experience. And I take that experience as my own experience because I am him and he is me. So why would I be in competition with my brother? Why would I be jealous of his build out? Why would that even make any sense? I do not understand jealousy. I don't get it for the life of me. Have I been hated on? Millions of times. Millions of times. From within the family, outside of the family, friends who I thought was friends. Oh baby, honey, it lives and it exists. But I always question, like, what? What? I don't get it. Because what I experience and what belongs to me also belongs to you by way of me. That's the thing that y'all, we are one. Let me get back to it because I'm about to go left. I feel it. Let me get back to it. I'm aware of certain. I have an awareness of so many things, and I really do. Oftentimes, I really do want to jump into it, but I feel like y'all will probably be like, Miss B has lost her ever loving mind. She is talking in riddles and parables, and she is speaking nonsense and crazy, and that's only because you have yet become aware of the awareness that you are, and I have. Okay, all right. Here we go. Woo-wee. This infinite awareness, this one and only awareness is you and every other person. There's only one awareness, and it's the same awareness that is operating through everybody. This is just one of us. Our name is I. There's only one I, and you are it as everyone is it. It's the one awareness operating through every living form. All the physical forms are simply different vehicles for the one glorious infinite awareness. This is the true meaning of the teaching. We are one. That's the true meaning. Consciousness and awareness are different words used to describe the same thing. They both describe you. Francis Lucille states, this very ordinary consciousness, which is hearing these words right this moment and understanding them, happens to be also the divine consciousness that lives all lives. You and I are the divine consciousness that lives all lives. There's nothing that we are without. So I don't have to be mad because I missed an opportunity and somebody else got it. Because I am them and they are me and we are one, I also got it. What? Come on, man. This is why you can celebrate others. That's why you can get to celebrate real big for other people. You can celebrate real big for other people because, man, listen, you did that. We did that. A high five. Man, okay. There is not a single separate entity in the entire cosmos. Not a single separate entity in the entire cosmos. This very ordinary consciousness, which is hearing these words right now, this moment, and understanding them, happens to be also the divine consciousness that lives all lives. There's not a single separate entity in the entire cosmos. Muji stated, we are one. There's only one in us. There's only one as us. It's a little like the trillions of individual cells living, working, and operating in your body. Unbeknownst to each of the individual cells, they are really part of the human being. There are billions of beings in the world operating as individuals, and unbeknownst to most of them, they're the one and only infinite being. Francis Lucille stated, we have been taught to believe that this consciousness is personal and limited, and that each person is endowed with a private and separate consciousness, so that there are many consciousness. We have never considered that while it is easy to verify that two objects are separate because it is possible to see their borders and limits, it is not impossible to find any border or limit to the consciousness. If there's only one awareness or consciousness, why aren't you aware of thoughts or sensations in other people's bodies, or of what an animal in Africa is seeing or hearing? It's because awareness and consciousness has been funneled through your mind, making it localized in your body. Plus, the belief that you're a separate individual prevents you from experiencing the full expansion of awareness. But when you feel compassion or love for another, you are far more tuned in to the one awareness that you might have realized than you might have realized. That is so very true, because again, when I am coaching and when I'm counseling, when I'm working and dealing in the therapy, in the realm of therapy, guaranteed. Oh my goodness. If you've ever heard of the clairs, then you know what I'm about to say. The clairs. Those are spiritual consciousnesses, okay? The ability to hear the unheard, the unheard, the ability to see the unseen, um, uh, smell, taste, feel, um, spiritually. Okay, uh, I have there's 8 known, but I'm quite sure that there's more than that. Um, I am very prevalent in all. Okay, as you are too. You just unaware, right? As I'm, especially when I'm working in the spiritual and working with the spiritual, and with someone spiritually, I can feel very much so in my being where they are having troubles. Because it's pinpointed in me, I can pinpoint it in them, and I can target it, and I can work on the purge of, or the healing of, or the restoring of. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of going out. I don't put myself in a lot of big crowds. Um, a lot of crowds, period. I very rarely go out because of that very strongly keen and sharp ability. I I stopped going grocery shopping and had my groceries started to be delivered, because I can go to the grocery store and I can go down the bread aisle to pick up a pack of bread, a loaf of bread, and out of the blue, whoever else is in that aisle that I'm near, or that I see, or whatever, or I can just not even be paying attention to their presence there, and I will hear something regarding them, pick up something in my body about them, or whatever the case, and I'm now charged to work with them. It's a lot. I'm not going to even lie to you. It's a heavy load, but it's a gift that I am so grateful for. Um, to whom much is given, much is required. I will say that. I will absolutely say that. But I'm honored, and it is a huge gratitude to be aware. um, to be aware, straight up. When I'm baking, 100%. If I taste something in my mouth, it's just something that was shown to be or given to me. I taste something in my mouth, then at that moment, now I have to, now I'm hearing the recipe to piece it together to replicate the taste that's in my mouth, to bake or to cook whatever this thing that I'm tasting in my mouth. I can bring it to pass in front of me. If I can smell something, and it'll ignite something in me, or it's I'm telling you all, my abilities are very, very charged. They're very, very keen, very keen. When I do share this with people, because of their lack of awareness of who they are, they'll try to convince me that what I'm hearing, feeling, smelling, tasting, touching, whatever, is not real, because they aren't aware of the realness that they have. Okay. See, people don't see a situation for what it is, they see it from where they are, right? And out of their ignorance and unknowing of themselves, they'll try to convince you that you don't know who you are. No, my love. On the contrary, I fully am aware of who I am, but because you're unaware of who you are, you don't understand my awareness of who I am, right? Even in the Bible, it says the things of the spirit are foolish to the people of the world. And I'm not talking about people who live quote unquote carnal lives. No, 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 no. I'm talking about people who live unaware lives. That to me is the world, right? Two different concepts. Even religion lacks awareness. My God, man, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It is insane. But I tell you what, one thing that I have noticed is that more and more people are becoming more and more aware of who they are strictly, and are detaching from limited the limited beliefs of that's a whole nother, man. Stick around and make sure that you all are put on your calendar February 29th, Thursday, February 29th, when myself and Apostle Donald Clapp will have a conversation about the decolonizing our minds from the constructs of religion. Okay. Make sure you put that on your calendar. You don't want to miss that conversation. Okay. Um, man. Okay, let me continue. Let me continue. We have been taught to believe that this consciousness is personal and limited, and that each person is endowed with a private and separate consciousness, so that there are many consciousnesses. We have never considered that while it is easy to verify that two objects are separate, because it is possible to see their borders and limits, it is not possible to find any border or limit to consciousness. Okay. If there's only one awareness or consciousness, why aren't you aware of thoughts or sensations in others? Okay. Why aren't you aware? It's because awareness or consciousness has been funneled through your mind, making it localized to your body. Plus, the belief that you're a separate individual prevents you from experiencing the full expansive of awareness. But when you feel compassion or love for another, you are far more tuned into the one awareness than you might have realized. No matter who they are, no matter what title they possess, when you feel compassion or love for another, which, by the way, is your native language, compassion and love, right? Then you are far more tuned in to that one awareness than you might have realized. We've all had glimpses in our lives of the awareness that we are, but more often than not, we pass them off as something we imagine or a trick of the mind, whether we remember them or not. We've had experiences that we can't explain. Very often when we were children, it may have been an experience where you felt you expanded to be really big, and felt like the world was within you, or maybe you saw or heard something that no one else could see or hear. Children are more tuned into awareness because their minds hadn't yet covered awareness over with hadn't covered that awareness over with a whole array of mental concepts and beliefs. See, the problem is when children come to this world from spirit now, from infinite being, from infinite awareness, infinite consciousness, enter into this realm, take on a physical body, enter into, pass through this portal, their portal, spiritual portal, which is their mom. Okay. Come into this realm. fully aware. In fact, that's the only awareness that they know is their awareness. That's it. They don't know anything else until the unaware, who are the people who are raising them, okay, or even the schools and the teachers and the televisions and the music and the neighbors and the family members, until the unaware starts to uh, detach them from their awareness or who they are with programming, rules, and you're not to do this and you're supposed to look like this and we don't do that and you dress like that and you only talk like this and you go over here and we do this and we do that and tradition is this and woo the woo the woo. The more conditioned, the more conditioning we put on the children, right? The more conditioning we put on the children. Hey Keisha, welcome honey. The more conditioning that we put these children through, the more they detach from who they truly are. We're making them robots, conditioned and programmed like you were, as if we need another one of you, okay? Because Lord knows we don't. But what we don't realize we're doing is recreating our unaware selves, our unconscious selves. We think that, oh, well, I was raised like this and I turned out just fine. You actually didn't, because you completely forgot who you truly are. You did not turn out just fine, and you're about to produce another one who ain't turning out just fine. All because you are unaware of who you are. So you're about to reproduce another person who don't know who they are, and so forth and so on. Why do you think we are born into the bloodlines that we're born into? To bring a remembrance of who we are. But see, what you do is, instead of allowing that baby who's fully aware to teach you what to return to, you then turn them into who you are, as if that's a great thing. I need y'all to pick up what I'm putting down. Okay? Children come to teach you. Children come to remind you. Watch the movie on Disney Plus. Watch Inside Out. Watch Inside Out. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay? Watch the movie Inside Out. Ooh, that's a great, great, great example. Great example. Because I know in this book, it's a lot of big words, a lot of stuff, or whatever the case. No. Watch the movie Inside Out, Disney Plus. Clear understanding of what I'm talking about here. Okay? Under the age of 2.5, children are pure, simple awareness. They don't have the experience of being separate, which is why they refer to themselves in the third person. On seeing herself in a photograph, 2-year-old Sarah will point and say, "That's Sarah." She won't say, "That's me," because that's not yet experiencing herself as me. She's not yet experiencing herself as me, a separate person. Her experience is that there's one and she is it and everyone else is it. Lester Levinson says, there's nothing out there but our consciousness. There's only one consciousness and we're it. Awareness or consciousness is all through your body and everywhere outside of your body. Awareness can't be contained within your body because awareness is formless. It could be like trying to contain space in a jar. Of course, space is both out inside the jar and everywhere outside the jar. In fact, the jar is in space, just as all bodies are in awareness. Absolutely everything is contained in awareness. And it's the reason why the enlightened beings' experience of light is that they are everything, because they are everything. And as awareness, so are you. Behind your eyes is the same consciousness, the only consciousness that is behind Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and behind all eyes. You don't have to seek outside of yourself for yourself. Not at all. You've always been what you always need to be. Think about that. Your consciousness is the same consciousness as all of the great beings. That's how close you are to them. They are not at a distance from you. You are one with them. Francis Lucille states, the mystery, the magic of it is that this ordinary consciousness that we take for granted, even as far as denying its existence, happens to be the consciousness of the universe itself, its true center. Next section, how to stay as awareness. There's no process to become the awareness that you are. It's not something you have to attain. This is not something that certain people have and you don't have. You are already it right now. You may have overlooked it and may have believed all your life that you were just a person, but that doesn't alter the fact of what you actually are. Muji stated, you can lose everything else, but you can never lose the awareness that you are. When a human being lives from the place of knowing their infinite awareness, then the experience of living in the material world becomes breathtaking. It does, man. It I cannot go outside of my house and look up to the sky and see the stars and don't well up in my eyes. I'm talking about overwhelmed. And the reason is, y'all, the reason that it's hard for me to do that, because I marvel. Like I marvel. When I go outside and I see the sun, I marvel. When I go outside at night and I see the moon, I marvel. When I see the stars so bright and gorgeous, I marvel, y'all. I marvel because that's me. I'm looking at myself. And to see myself in all of my magnificence and glory, all of my divinity and sacredness, I'm staring myself in the face. That's why. That's why. It's like, oh my God. I'm telling you, there's not just last night. I took my dogs outside at about 12 midnight. And I wouldn't even, I don't know what my mind was not even expecting to. I was trying to get them outside because it was 20 degrees last night. And so when I opened that door and I let them out, I'm looking at them run off, and I must have looked up slightly. And I caught those twinkles, and it just took my air, y'all. I pulled up a chair in the 20-degree weather, and I no longer cared about the cold. I sat there and I stared at those stars, and I said, my God. And my eyes just welled up. My eyes just welled up. Because I'm looking at them, and I'm looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and I'm just looking at me, because I am them and they are me, and we are one, and all of this is one. This is one. We're one. What? Come on, man. Whew. Like I said, when a human being lives from a place of knowing their infinite awareness, then the experience of living in the material world becomes breathtaking, because their mind has dropped to the background and awareness is in the foreground. They are no longer subject to the turmoil of the mind, so they are lighthearted, happy all the time, and laugh a lot. They're existing in pure happiness and bliss and living their lives from that place every day. Problems are virtually non-existent. Everything dreamed of comes to them. And because they're consciously living as awareness, they're fully aware of their immortality. They know they are everything, and yet they know they're not affected by anything. Life on earth doesn't get any better than this. Dan Frazier stated, every little thing you do or see, every little ordinary thing carries this tingly sense of being. It is hard not to cry sometimes at the unspectacular things, at the most unspectacular things. The lines of the walls in relation to the flat of the floor, its horizontal, horizontality, the nap of the rug, the sound of the car going by, the smell of the skin on your arms, all is miraculous. All of it. But you have to experience it for yourself. Hearing it from someone else is a guide, pointing you in the right direction. It's like a travel agent describing Mount Everest. You can't know what Mount Everest is like until you get there and experience it for yourself. Only then will you know. Francis Lucille stated, "It is actually impossible not to remain as this open space of consciousness. However, to be knowingly is a different matter." To be it knowingly is a different matter. Peter Lowry stated, "You cannot be out of awareness. It is missed simply through the habit of placing the attention in the thinking." Ooh, you got to lose your mind in order to find your heart. Lose your mind, y'all. We can put our attention either on the thoughts in our head or on the awareness that we are. It's a simple shift of your attention. Put your attention on the awareness as often as you can rather than giving your attention to thinking, and you will be on your way to absolute freedom and bliss. Next section, the awareness practice. 3 steps to bliss. Here we go, you all. The awareness practice is what I use and continue to practice to consciously stay awareness. Stay awareness. Okay. This practice is not to become awareness because you're that already. It's so you can live your life consciously as the awareness that you are. It's just 3 simple steps to a life of total freedom and lasting blissful happiness. Step 1, ask yourself, am I aware? Step 2, notice awareness. Step 3, stay as awareness. Okay. So here we go. Step 1, ask yourself, am I aware? Don't try to answer the question with your mind. Thoughts cannot help you experience awareness. Each time you ask the question, your attention will be taken away from thinking and the mind and put on awareness. When you ask, am I aware? Awareness is present instantly. The mind may come in quickly afterward with a thought. But if it does, simply ask the question again. The more you ask the question, the longer you will remain as awareness, and the quieter your thoughts and your mind will become. Haley Dwoskin stated, notice that the mind, in all its changes, has a changeless background. Correct. After asking, am I aware? The first thing you'll likely feel is a sense of relief as any resistance you are holding in the mind and body starts to melt away. After repeatedly asking the question, over time, the feeling of relief will turn into a subtle feeling of peaceful happiness. You may feel a sense of serenity as your mind becomes quiet. You may feel currents of joy running through the area around your heart. The relief you feel is due to your mind falling into the background. The longer the mind remains in the background with awareness present in the foreground, the greater the relief and the more happiness you will begin to feel. Bliss comes when awareness remains permanently in the foreground and the mind is delegated to its rightful place. Remember, awareness is formless, so it's not something you can hold on to. It's like love. You know love exists, but can you hold on to it? You can feel the sensations of love in the air, but you can't grasp it in your hand. It's the same with awareness. You will feel the sensation of relief and happiness in your body from awareness, but you can't grasp it or hold on to it. It can seem difficult to consciously stay as awareness in the beginning because of the habit of thinking. Robert Spiro states, as soon as this is noticed, we may ask again, am I aware? In this way, inviting the mind away from the objects of knowledge or experience towards its essence or source. Okay? The way to break the habit of incessant thinking is by being the infinite awareness that you are. You can't use the mind to stop the mind and break the habit of thinking. It's the reason many people fail at meditation because they're trying to use the mind to quiet the mind instead of allowing the thoughts to come and go without giving them any attention. For most people, there's virtually no relief from their mind because it's constantly throwing up one thought after another, and they don't realize they can remove their attention from their thoughts. Freedom from the mind is such a glorious relief, and it comes when you can observe thoughts rather than being lured into following them and believing them. Ooh, that's real. Step 2, notice awareness. In a relatively short time of practicing step 1, you'll get to the point where you automatically notice awareness. You won't need to ask, am I aware? You won't need to ask, am I aware anymore? Because in the moment you think of awareness, instantly awareness will be in the foreground and your mind will recede into the background. Rupert Spiro stated, allow the experience of being aware to come into the foreground of experience and let thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, and perceptions recede into the background. Simply notice the experience of being aware, the peace and happiness for which all people long reside there. Shift your attention to awareness by noticing awareness multiple times throughout the day. It won't be long before you feel a sense of exquisite relief and happiness each time you return from the turmoil of the mind to the deep peace of awareness. There's a fork in every moment to be what you are or what you are not. You're choosing in every second. Mm. If you feel like your mind is covering awareness, or you feel like you've lost it and you can't get it back, ask yourself, what is aware that awareness is lost? It's awareness that's aware of it. And with that, you will be aware of awareness. If you don't think you've been able to discover awareness yet, ask yourself, what is aware that I haven't discovered awareness? It's awareness that's aware of that too. And now you're aware of awareness. Muji stated, you are already awareness itself, not the one trying to be aware. Are you aware of your body right now? It's awareness that's aware of your body. Are you aware of the seat you're sitting in? It's awareness that's aware of the seat. Are you aware of your breathing? It's awareness that's aware of your breathing. It's that simple. This is an excerpt from The Secret. Whenever you think of it, bring yourself back to the awareness of now. Do it hundreds of times each day because remember, all of your power is in your awareness of your power. Come on. Step 3, stay as awareness. Muji stated, in the beginning, you feel like a visitor to awareness, but as you keep discovering the realness of it, any sense of fear or separation melts away. Staying as awareness is all about where you put your attention. My teacher suggests a simple way to think about this. Our mind operates in a similar way to the lens of a camera. The mind has an automatic zoom function, and it focuses our attention on things in detail, just as you would zoom in with a camera lens for a close-up. The majority of the time, the mind is zoomed in, and we are seeing the world through focused attention, which results in a very narrow and distorted perspective of the world. But when you want to take a photograph of a wide open space, you zoom out and open the lens as wide as you can for a wide angle shot. In the same way, if you open your attention wide so you're focused on any detail anymore, so you're not focused on any detail anymore, awareness is revealed. It's a simple way to stay as awareness and let everything just be as it is. To put this into practice, take a look around you right now. Find something close up to focus on and focus your attention on only that. You can use your hand if you want. Now open your attention so it's very wide, taking in as much as possible of your surroundings without focusing on anything in particular. Notice an immediate sense of relief and relaxation in your body. This happens because your mind is constantly focused, and it takes a lot of effort to maintain that focus. So when you open your attention to be as wide and open as possible, our mind dissolves into the background and awareness comes into the foreground. You feel a sense of relief because awareness is effortless. It sees and knows everything without any need to focus. The one that you've mistaken yourself for that wants to make things happen has zero power. Yet it's saying, I need to take care of some things. It's awareness that takes care of everything. That's hilarious because how often do we say, oh, I need to take care of a couple of things. I need to make a couple phone calls. I need to email this. I need to do this. I need to do that. Honey, it's awareness that takes care of everything. Haley Dwoskin stated, the less you believe you are the doer, the more you are an unstoppable force for good in the world. Come on. I used to be a big doer. I prided myself on my doing capabilities, juggling multiple things at one time. It became my identity. I was the queen of doing. And so, of course, the universe flowed an unending number of things for me to do because of what I believed about myself. So she willed she willed being overwhelmed. That's crazy. But that has all changed because of continually letting go of what I believed myself to be and staying as the awareness that I am. I'm not only happier than I've ever been, but instead of doing all the time, things just seem to get taken care of naturally without me doing them. If I do end up doing something, it's like I'm not even doing it. It's so effortless. Life becomes miraculous. Give 5 minutes a day at the very least to putting your attention on awareness. You can do it when you first wake up, when you get into bed, or at any other time that suits you. If you are as dedicated as I am to having a miraculous life, you will give your attention to awareness more often. But even 5 minutes a day will make an enormous difference to your life. It's that easy. Remember, this is not a practice to become awareness because you are infinite awareness already. Rather, it's a practice that stops you from identifying yourself with the mind and body, which is not who you are. Francis Lucille stated, to begin with it seems like an effort to keep returning to the welcoming presence. But at some point, it is so natural that it seems to require an effort to leave it. It feels like home. Yes, it does. You will reach a point where you know with certainty that you are in the realm of divinity, or for those who prefer to use the word God, in the presence of God. To be in the presence of God or the realm of divinity is to be beyond the mind. Uji state, when you lose the eyes of ego, you see the eyes of God. Come on. When you lose the eyes of ego, you see the eyes of God. After doing these steps for a while, you discover that awareness automatically becomes more dominant and present within you, and your mind becomes more quieter. Other indications of how you are doing are your life will become easier and more effortless. You'll feel more peaceful. Things that used to bother you won't bother you anymore. You'll feel calmer. Your emotions will be more stable. And you'll find you're not easily swept away with negative emotions. In fact, you will begin to feel a sense of happiness that you've not felt before. You'll become more acutely aware of your mind's propensity to complain, criticize, and focus on negativity. And you'll find you're not giving your mind power over you like you used to because you've taken your attention away from your thoughts. That is the process that I'm in right now at this very moment. Seriously. Lester Levinson stated, knowing that we are the perfect self, that we are not this limited body and mind, all problems immediately resolve. Awareness is greater than every single thing it's aware of. Awareness is greater than every single thing it's aware of. The person is limited, but awareness is unlimited, which means everything is possible. Nothing can ever restrict you. Nothing whatsoever has power over you. Francis Lucille stated, we seem to have the experience of a limited consciousness, but when we investigate more closely, we see that it is impossible. That which is aware of limitations transcends limitations and is therefore beyond them. Nothing can disturb awareness. No number of problems can disrupt you. Negativity can't touch you. Wars can't affect you. You, as awareness, are always safe and well. You are untouchable, unharmable, imperishable. What would there be to threaten you? You contain everything. You are everything. To the best of your ability, begin to stay as the awareness that you are by putting your attention on awareness often, as you can live a wonderful life. Mr. Levinson stated, then you can no more be fooled by the apparent limitations of the world. You see them as a dream, as an appearance, because you know that your very own beingness has no limits. Your very own beingness has no limits. All right. And here's a summary of chapter 3. That was perfect time. And we did this in 2 hours exactly. Wonderful. Okay. Chapter 3 summary. Point number 1, you are awareness. You're not a person being aware of something. Number 2, a telescope is just an instrument without the astronomer looking through it. And your body and mind are instruments of awareness. 3, there's only one awareness. And it's the same awareness that is operating through everybody. 4, you aren't aware of thoughts or sensations in another person's body because awareness has been funneled through your mind, making it localized to your body. 5, awareness or consciousness is all through your body and everywhere outside your body. 6, we can put our attention either on the thoughts in our head or on the awareness that we are. Put your attention on awareness as often as you can. 7, the awareness practice. Step 1, ask yourself, am I aware? Step 2, notice awareness. And step 3, stay as awareness. 8, the way to break the mind's habit of nonstop thinking once and for all is to stay as the awareness that you are. 9, shift your attention to awareness by noticing awareness multiple times throughout your day. 10, a simple way to stay as awareness, open your attention wide like the lens on a camera so you're not focused on any detail anymore and awareness is revealed. And 11, to practice, find something close up to focus on and focus your attention on only that. Now open your attention so it's very wide, taking in as much as possible of your surroundings without focusing on anything in particular. So between today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, before we meet again, because we're meeting again on Tuesday at 8 p.m., we're gonna do one chapter at 8 p.m. because on Tuesday evenings, that's it's pretty late, so I don't want to keep you all for 2 hours on Tuesday. So I know you all are preparing, you're winding down, you're getting ready for your work week. I mean, you're getting ready for your next day at work and things like that, and I don't want to keep you that long. Okay, so on Tuesday, we're going to go over chapter 4, which is entitled, You're Dreaming, It's Time to Wake Up. You're dreaming, it's time to wake up. Okay, so we will see you all back here. This has been amazing, y'all. Oh my God. Listen, if you do not have the book, you need to get this book. Okay, every single book that we read, there is a PDF version, an ebook version available for you for only $5. That's it, only $5. And it's really just you investing in your learning and your growing and your elevation and things like that. Okay, because I used to give these books for free, but then I would give the books to hundreds of people and then they don't show up. Okay, so what you're gonna do is invest. Because if you invest in it, then you'll take it a little more seriously. Okay, my time is precious. I don't know about yours, but my time is very precious. Okay, so to receive your book, you can email me or you can inbox me wherever you are, chat, send me a chat or whatever the case, but you can email me at info@biancamissblee.com. Again, info@biancamissblee.com. All right. Or you can also go to my website on Clubhouse. It's right above my head. You can tap the link above me and go straight to my website. On Facebook, on YouTube, the information is in the captions, but it's also on the screen. Okay. So it's biancamissblee.com. Also follow me, you all. Follow me on social media. You will get these excerpts from these sessions and more, and so much more. Okay. Also, I mean, you can follow me on social media. You'll get more. You follow me on Facebook, you'll get even more. Okay. But anyway, Instagram, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, Facebook, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and YouTube, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Okay. I spoke about earlier tapping into the nonprofit organization to become a part of our donors, sponsors, investors, things like that, because we're doing major things for the communities, in the communities, and things like that around the nation, around the world. Okay, not just locally, everywhere. Okay. Everywhere. We're doing great things for mental health, great things for grieving individuals, great things for returning citizens, great things for foster care children, great things for adolescents and young adults beginning their adult preparedness, Great things, great things, great things. Feeding the hungry, clothing, food drives, all kinds of things we're doing. Okay, we're doing building and community development. We're doing opening offices and transitional homes and all kinds of things. We're doing major things, you all. You don't want to miss the load. Okay, you don't want to be up. You don't want to miss being a part of this major mission. Okay, go to our sites, go to our pages. You'll find this on the btsawards.com website, or you'll find it on my personal website, biancamissblee.com. You'll find it everywhere. Anything that we're doing, you'll find it. Okay, if you need to contact me directly or get in touch with the organizations, you can do so. The information is on the screen, but it's area code 706-570-2630. Again, 706-570-2630. And we will help you. We will get you the right information, all of those things. Also, you don't want to miss being a part of our email list. Okay, go to my website, put yourself on the email list, and get the emails that we are sending out. It's very motivational. You'll be able to acquire and take advantage of some of the services. I am a therapist. I am a licensed therapist. I am a doctor. I am a psychologist. I do cognitive behavioral therapy. I am a 5-time certified master life and purpose coach. I do relationship and intimacy coaching. I do spiritual coaching, business coaching, all of those things. And I am certified in all things. Trust and believe. I work hard, you all. I listen. I do this because society says I gotta have this, but I've been gifted and anointed to do all of the things that I am doing. Trust and believe. Okay, I get this paperwork for the people because some people require to see it. Okay, but the better I get, the better I can service. Okay, so I take pride in all of the things that I am doing, that I am grateful to have the opportunity to do, and I'm doing more. The more I chisel myself, the better I can be for you. All right. Alrighty, you all, listen, I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. We will be back here on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for chapter 4, okay, of the book, The Greatest Secret, okay? Alrighty, you all. We'll see you then. Have a phenomenal evening. This is a long weekend, so enjoy your off day tomorrow. Happy birthday to the great contemporary ancestor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And enjoy the rest of your week, you all. Okay, I love you. Peace.